Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I have received many emails about learning the tarkib and the Arab of the Quran and the Arabic grammar. So, inshallah, today, Bismillahi ta'ala, I'm starting this new series of learning the Irab, and I will give you all the first basic steps to learn the Irab, all the basics of Arab that are needed to learn the Arabic grammar and about the structure of the sentences, and we are supposed to learn from the beginning of our study of the Arabic grammar. So inshallah, let's start. So, what is Irab? All right. So, in the Arabic grammar. So, sometimes we are always confused about the Irab, the difficult part of in the Nahu to give the words their places in the sentence. So, what is Irab? It is giving each word in the sentence a function or an action or a place that it performs according to its position in the sentence. All right. So, many of us are always confused about doing the Irab that can I learn Irab or is it possible for me to learn them? They are always difficult for me and cannot do it. So it's all about the position of the words in the sentence. Every word in the sentence has a specific action, a position, a place. Such as every word in the sentence has its own, as I mentioned to you, own action to perform. So, like you can say that every word in a sentence has a job to do. All right. So let's see with the first example. So it's akala zaidun at-tufahata. Okay, akala zaidun at-tufahata. So Zaid ate the apple. All right. So here, first see the word akala. All right. Akala, we have done lots of basic Nahu, Alhamdulillah, and you can go back to those sessions and you can see what are the Mubtada, what is the Khabar, what is the Fi'l Madi, Fi'l Mudari, or all of it. Okay, but how we are going to apply them on a sentence, that's what we are going to do in a Tarkib in Irab session, inshallah. And inshallah, we will be doing the Irab of the Quran as well. So, akala, we know that it is showing the hadas, that means it is showing the event when it happened. And we know that it is also showing the time, the hadas was zaman, so that means it is the past tense. So, when we know that about this verb, that when did the verb happen, what time did it happen now, or did it happen yesterday? All of it is in the fail that is given. So if it happened into the past and ended, we call it fail madi, the past tense. So if it is happening now in the present tense, we call it the present tense, or we can call it the fail mudare. Or even if it is was an imperative, a verb, or the amr bil fail, then we call it the fail amr. So here we know that akala, we know that the hadat and the zaman is given in the fail, so it is a fail. Now this is the past tense because the event has happened in the past, because he ate the apple and finished eating it, and then we call it the fail madi. So we are going to label it as Faile Madi. And we also know about Faile Madi, that we have learned about it, that Faile Madi, the first Hua version, we have done this already, Alhamdulillah, is Daiman, always Mabni. All right? The Mabni al Fath, Mabni al Sukun, and Mabni al Dam, we have done this. So in most of the cases, and most of the grammarian always believe that they are all mabni al-fath, but there are the implied sukun and the mabat. We have learned this because we'll go with the majority of the grammarian, and according to them, there are three possible about the conditions, or you can say the status of fi'l madi, that is the mabni al fath, mabni al dam, and mabni al sukun. So here we know that it's always mabni. The fi'l madi is always mabni, daiman mabni, and it is right here in the Hua version. It is mabni al fath. Okay, so except in few cases that and we have already done those cases as well. You can go back to the sessions and review those lessons. So فعل ماضي is دائما مبني. So we will say that it's here we can see that there is fatha. So فعل ماضي مبني على الفتحة. Here this is all you can write about this the Irab for akala. So hadas wazaman is showing that it is fail, it is just bound in time, is stuck in time, and this is and we know that fail madi is diamond mabni, so we are going to say fail madi mabni alal fath. You can see the fath here. So it is Hua version, akala, akala, akalu. So you can also, you can do the Sarf Sahir, Sarf Kabir charts for this fail. You know that it is from family 1 because it has only the root letters, no extra letter to it. So here it is Fail Madi Mabni al Fath. All right. Fail Madi Mabni al Fath. We also know that there are 4 letters that show that this fail is a fail mudari. So here we know that night we remember noon, hamza, ya, and ta. So here we know that hamza is the root letter here, and these are the 3 root letters. That is why it is from the family 1. So fi'l madi mabni al fath. We are going to write the i'rab. So the next man alazi yakal. So who ate it? So who is the one who did the action of eating? That's Zaid. All right, this Zaid did the action of eating, and we know that um, لكل فعل فعال file and comma bihi. We know that for every verb there is a subject who did it. So here the subject, we know that Z is the subject here, and we also have learned this the file. That file, the subject is daiman marfu. All right, it's always marfu. All right, so it's always marfu, and that means it is in the state of rafa. So Z is the subject, and the subject is, or you can say the file, and it is always in the state of rafa. We have learned it. It is diamond marfu. All right. So with dhamma or dhammatain, but there are exceptions to every rule. You know that. But inshallah, we have learned this, and we are going to learn about that as well. And we have already have a little info about the conditions when these exceptions happen. So we will also learn about that too. So Z here is file marfu wala madira fi ad-damma. What you're going to write, how you're going to write the i'rab. First, you are going to mention what is Z in the sentence. It is file marfu. All right, file marfu. So after that, you are going to write the sign of the rafa state. وعلامة رفعه الضمة. In Arabic, you are going to write وعلامة رفعه الضمة. All right. وعلامة رفعه الضمة. Here you can see ضمتين because it is not in the definite tense here, definite, but here it has a dhamma. So فاعل مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة, and we can also add الظاهرة على آخره. So we can add here الظاهرة على آخره. The next word is, let's see here. Okay, so about that, it is the file here. So he ate the apple. So you know that diamond marfu. The file is always marfu. File marfu علامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخرة. That means that is visible in the end. All right, this in the end. الظاهرة على آخره. All right. So the next word is التفاحة. التفاحة is the apple. Know that every detail, and we know that what did Z ate. All right, Z ate the apple. So ماذا أكل زيد؟ أكل تفاحة. أكل تفاحة. Apple is the object eaten by the subject or the file by some kind of verb or action. All right, so we call it the maful bihi, the detail. You know that all the object is the maful bihi, and the maful bihi, the detail is always nasab, always in the accusative case, and that is the mansub with the fatha. All right, and there are exceptions to it as well, but Generally, we know that the real Irab, we have done this also, that the Asliya, the Irab Asliya and Afaiya. So Asliya is always the Fatha, the Mansub. In the in the accusative case, it is Maful Bihi, that is Mansub bil Fatha. All right. So how you're going to write the Irab? We know that detail is always Maful Bihi, giving the answer to what and who. So what did he eat? The question, the what is solved by the Maful Bihi, and we know that it is all diamond, mansoob, that is the nasab state. So how we are going to write the Arab? Maful bihi mansoob. All right, maful bihi mansoob. So again, we will need to add what is the sign of the mansoob or nasab state. Wa alamati nasbihi al fathata. All right, wa alamati nasbihi al fatha. Right here. All right. So maf'ul bihi mansub wa alamati nasbihi al-fatha, and then you can add this az-zahira ala akhirihi, that is visible in the end of the word. All right. Maf'ul bihi mansub wa alamati nasbihi al-fatha. All right. So this is the correct method of writing the i'rab, and we'll write as maf'ul bihi mansub wa alamati nasbihi al-fatha. The sign of the nasab is the fatha. So we know that Zahir al akhira means when you look at the end of the word, you see that the last harf has a haraka. All right, last harf has the haraka that is visible or zahir. So in this case, it is a fatha. So that is placed on the end of the verb, and it is apparent or visible that we can see it. All right. So Alhamdulillah, this file, maful bihi, ism majroor, alamat jar, mubtada, khabar, alamat rafa, alamat nasab, mudaf ilayh, all these terms are connected to each other, and Alhamdulillah, in the sentences, and that is what we have studied in Ilm Nahu, and that is how we are going to, by practicing and by repeating and by memorizing and doing, we can polish knowledge. Also, we should always ask a teacher about anything that we don't understand, and we should not feel shy whenever we have some difficulty in making the Arab or anything. So, in this way, you can learn the Arab, and also with the memorizing, as I mentioned to you, memorizing and reviewing is very important. Try to do a little Arab, starting with the full writing down all the full Arab like this, the detail, the file, the fi'l, when it is madi, fi'l madi, mabni al fatha. Remember, try to remember, break the best thing. I always say that when there is a big sentence in English or in Urdu, in other our mother tongues, what we have learned from the in schools, in our colleges, that when there's a big sentence, we used to break the words or break the sentences into half and uh, in three parts or four parts, just like that. Break the Arab first. Just see what the word is. It is fail, which fail, fail madi. Then write on fail madi. Then we will write about the Arab for that. What is that? We know that it is mabni. It is always mabni. Then you are going to write the last whatever the harakat on the word is. So faili madi mabni al fatha, just like that. Uh, go with the file. We know that file is always marfu. Write down file marfu. Then you know that marfu is always rafa in the state. So what is a rafa sign? What alamati rafi ad damma. So then remember that part. And then again, Azrair al Akhira, always add that because it is always, as I mentioned to you, this is always visible and we can see it. So we all make mistakes. We know that we all are perfectly imperfect. So only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is perfect. So with that in mind, keep struggling and intentions to learn this beautiful language of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so with that in mind, intentions, that what are our intentions, keep struggling and keep doing hard work and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He subhanahu wa ta'ala help us in achieving our goals and accept our efforts, whatever little efforts we do just to please Him. He accept our efforts. Ameen, inshallah. So, okay, let's take some more examples, two or more examples, and we will conclude this session, inshallah. So, let's see another example. Here, yazhabu Zaidun ilal madrasati. So all the basic things we will learn inshallah, and you will be able to grasp some topics quickly inshallah. So yashabu zaidun ilal madrasati. All right, so here yashabu. First, see, it is, you can see the hadas and zaman because it is telling something that some event has happened in the past or present. So, how do we know that it was a verb? Because the translation will sometimes tell us, because we have learned about Fa'il Mudari. We have done so many sessions on Fa'il Mudari. You can go back and you can watch those sessions. And inshallah, the translation can tell you the patterns and that we are going to apply on that word, and all the signs of the fail, ism, and herb that we have learned so far and that we are learning, alhamdulillah. So this is how you have learned that this is our faili mudari. So because it is happening now, and we have learned that, so it is faili mudari, and they are always marfu unless they are preceded by harf of jazm and nasab. We have learned that by harf of jazm and harf of nasab, when they are preceded by it, they are always in the they are marfu. All right, so yazhab, this is faili mudari. All right, so faili mudari marfu. All right, so let's try faili mudari marfu. Then what we are going to add, وعلامة رفعه الضمة. وعلامة رفعه الضمة. All right, see here, وعلامة رفعه الضمة. Right? So, علامة رفع الضمة الظاهرة على آخره, as I have mentioned to you, you are going to add that as well. وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. All right, so this is about يذهب, فعل مضارع مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. So let's move on to زيد. Zaidun, again, it is a subject. We know that it's file. We know that about fail, file, and outside doers, and the hua and here version. So the subject of the file is always daiman marfu. So the alamat for file is rafa. We will say Zaidun file marfu. All right, file marfu. At the phrase here, walamati rafiya dhamma. Then again, the third part is azahira al akhiri. So break this into three. File marfu, write what is that in the sentence with the place. This is the file here, all right? Then at the second part, wala matirafiya damma. Then at the third part, azwahiri ala akhiri. Alhamdulillah. So here, Zaidun is file marfu, wala matirafiya damma, azwahiri ala akhiri. Now, what is the function of ila? Ila, we have learned about it. It is harf of jar, all right, in Arabic language, and we have learned about the huruf jar. Alhamdulillah, go back to those sessions and learn, revise and review huruf jar. We have learned that these huruf put the words after them in the state of jar. That's majroor state, all right. So here harf jar, we know that it's mabni ala sukun. Alamati is akhiri as sukun. Alamat akhiri السكون here. All right, here إلى حرف جر مبني على السكون. Again, write what the word is. It's حرف جر. Then write about its the إعراب. What is the حركة مبني على السكون. All right, and وعلامة آخره السكون. All right, so here, so we see that حرف جر is before it. Let's see the other word, al-madrasati. All right, al-madrasati. So it's ism fi'l or harf. You can apply the signs of ism here. We know that it's um, um two signs here. We can see, or almost three signs. You can see the al, the meme, and the ta marbuta. This sign is showing us that it is a ism. All right, and the kasra in the end is telling us that it's ism majroor. So write down ism majroor bi ila. All right, bi ila here. So we can see that the harf before it, al-madrasati, it is the prepositions or harf of jar that comes before it and become that noun becomes majroor. It's majroor when the prepositions enter the nouns. They we can say tajurruha, or they make the nouns in the state of jar. They make them majroor. So it's a majroor bi ila wa alamati jarrihi. Again, that part. The second part, وعلامة جره الكسرة. The third part, الظاهرة على آخرة. So this is whole sentence you can divide into parts. So this is the best way to memorize the إعراب. Alhamdulillah. So this is اسم مجرور به إلى وعلامة جر الكسرة الظاهرة. Three parts. First part, second part, the third part. يذهب يذهب زيد إلى المدرسة, because this is the you know that this is مرفوع because no harf of jar or you can say the harf of nasab or the harf jazm is before this fi'l mudari. Alhamdulillah, so we are done with that. So let's move on to the next sample. Zaidun talibun mujtahidun. Zaidun talibun mujtahidun. Alhamdulillah. So Zaidun, we know that la laysa hadas. There is no event that is happening, no timing here. We know that it has damatain. We know that no fail can have the double dama. So we know that it is Zaidun, and it is obvious from the name. It's a name of an person, a boy. So Zaidun is the you can see that it's mubtada. We know we know that jumla ismiya, it's mubtada and khabar, and there are other parts to the jumla ismiya. There can be a fail, that can be a jumla failure, but it can be a khabar. But here we know that it's just Zaidun talibun mujtahidun. So Zaid here is a um, just a noun here. So we will say, we know that mubtada is diamond marfu. We know that the mubtada and khabar are always marfu in the state of rafa. We know that. So it's diamond marfu. So the alama will be marfu bidamma. So we'll write down mubtada marfu. This first part, second part will be wa alamati rafiya damma. The third part is zahira ala akhirihi. So what is the noun with which the sentence begins? What do we say it to it? We call it the subject. We know that. We have already learned that, and that is the mubtada. We have learned about it. And mubtada is marfu da'iman, and it can be other things. And we have learned that we know that there are always exceptions. So mubtada marfu here وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. طالب, we know that it's khabar. جملة اسمها has a mubtada and khabar. So how do we know that it's khabar? Because it gave the information about Zaid. And what is the sign of the khabar? A khabar is da'iman marfu. Both mubtada and khabar, and we have already learned it, and a dhamma is placed on the letter. So khabar marfu alamat rafi dhamma azahira ala akhirih. Again, break it into three parts. خبر مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. مجتهد, what is its function? What is the benefit of that? So we understood from the word mujtahidun that it gave me a description of Zaid. So correct. So it can be sifa or not, right? We call it sifa or not. We have already learned about it, but now we are learning about putting the Irab, how we are going to write the Irab for it. So write the Irab for sifa and not. How we are going? Well, we know that it will always follow or imitates and comes exactly like the manut, not or manut, sifa or mawsuf and sifa. We have learned this. So mawsuf here we know that it's marfu, and so the sifa will also be marfu. So not a sifa, we can call it wa marfu alamati rafi ad-damma az-zahira, and we are going to add that az-zahira al-akhira, that is appearing at the end. Alhamdulillah. So this is how we are going to do the i'rab. So this is just the beginning, and inshallah, uh, I hope that you are going to أتمنى تكونوا استفدتوا. So I hope you have benefited and have understood all that I have just taught you here. So inshallah, I'll see you in the next session, and hope you have a good day. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.